So in this video, I want to show you some testing that I did today and kind of go over some of those results with you. And you can see right here, we have I have a scale and a key of how I'm going to be scoring this. The gray means it counts towards the overall score, which is in column J, or actually column K right here. And then you can see we, in this test, we tested Claude, Opus, ChatGPT-4, and Koala. So let me go over the steps and then we'll go over the results and my final thoughts. So what we did was we took this right over here, this prompt, write me a blog article that is 800 words about how to train a puppy to pee outside. And this just came in my head right here. I didn't even go to a keyword research tool or anything like that. This is just for testing purposes. And I want to see, we're going to be testing this with Google's writing guidelines, right? And so it created about a 600 word article right here. And so I went and copied that. And then we went over here and we went into ChatGPT and we kind of did the same thing. I'm gonna go find the article right over here. And here's the article, same thing, same exact prompt, boom. And then this is what ChatGPT did. Now, mind you, I do know that you can do a lot more with prompting, and I have with these large language model AI content writers like ChatGPT and Claude. But in this test, I wanted to see just right out of the box what it can do for us and kind of be fair with the other, because we're testing Koala as well. And I wanted to see right out of the box without doing any fancy prompting or anything like that, which tools are going to perform the best. Okay, so that's kind of the point of this tool is we want to measure, right? And then we also took the same thing. We went over here and we did the exact same thing in Koala. And I used this one right over here, which is ChatGPT Turbo. It's the middle version right over here. And this is the article that it pumped out. It pumped out about an 800 word article, and you can see that right here, okay? So we asked it to write the exact same article in all three tools. I also went and took them all into Hemingway, and this score right here, readability, grade 6, blah, 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 all that. When we come back over here into our Excel spreadsheet, that grade 6 was ChatGPT-4. It actually performed the best in Hemingway, and that's where these scores came in here. You can see Koala performed terribly with a readability score. But it did do the best with AI right over here, with AI detection. Let me go back over here and show you kind of how I set everything up. So we have this right over here, this documentation of the creating helpful content from Google, right? So this is their guidelines right over here. And we have all this content, self-assess, content and quality questions, expertise questions, provide a great page experience, focus on people first content, avoid creating search engine first content, and, EEAT right there. What about SEO? Isn't that search engine first? And ask who, how, and why about your content and so forth, right? So we have all these guidelines. And what did I do with that? Well, I went and I put that into a Google Doc over here, right? And I saved it over here. And I'll show you why I'm doing these Google Docs in a minute. But then we also went and took every article. Here's the Claude AI, and we called it Art1. That stands for Article 1, Claude 3 Opus. And then we came over here, Article 2, ChatGPT-4. And you can see that's all the same title of article. And then we had Article 3, Koala Turbo. So we did all those things. And then also I'll show you, we used copy leaks to do the AI testing. I'm not gonna use originality, at least in this test, because these are free tools. This one doesn't give you a percentage. It just tells you, was their content detected or not? And then when we come over here, we also use this 0GPT, which actually does give you a percentage, which I like that. So those account for the scores, the AI. I kind of have two tests right over here. Yes, they kind of failed copy leaks test. And then here's the exact percentages over here. And you can see like the 92, you get the least amount of points. Then at 80, in the 80s, you get 2 points. In the 50s, you get 5 points. You kind of get the gist. The more points right here, the better, right? And so these are the keys on how I'm adding up to get a overall score. So now that you see how everything is set up, well, then how did I get some of these other, helpfulness scores right over here, the human sounding score, these two right over here, those are the scores that are compared to the Google AI content guidelines that I just showed you right over here. So what I did was I used another tool, and this is actually from Google. It's called NotebookLM. lm.google, and it's in beta. It's free to actually sign up. Apparently you have to be 18 years or older to use this. And basically they don't even have a paid plan. You just come in here and I'll show you what it looks like right in here. We'll back out right over here and I'll just show you. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can go and sign up, and basically what you can do with this software is you can connect a bunch of different sources and you can ask questions about different sources, and each source you can have up to 20. And let me just show you. I'm going to go into AI content testing right over here. You can basically come in here and you can say, hey, I want to add a source. It can be from Google Drive, PDF, text file, or copied text. And then that becomes a source right over here. So you can see we have 4 sources. We added in our current Google writing guidelines are right here. So we can actually go and look that up. Look, it has all of that is right in here. It can go and you can prompt it. Here's all that content right in here in that Google Doc, right? But then you can go in here and it also has all those sources right over here. We can go look at the article. So each article is the same. This one is the article 1. So that would be right over here. Article 1 was from Claude, right? And so you can do all kinds of different stuff. It does a summary of each source, key topics, and so forth. So, which is super, super cool, right? So now you have all these sources, and this is just a different way. I think that this takes it kind of next level when it comes to connecting different sources and then asking and prompting it different questions and so forth. You can kind of control the information. Instead of in ChatGPT, you really can't control the sources or the information. So this would be a cool tool to do this kind of testing. And so what did I do? You can also come in here and save notes. We have a prompt over here and so forth. Really, really cool to set this up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looked like. I had the instructions over here. I actually just I made a GPT and tried to grade this as well. I tried to use GPT at first, and we did some grading over here, and you can see that it was spitting out different grades and different things like that. I used some different, this one was a helpful content checker. And then I went over here and I also was kind of messing around with creating my own, which is AI content grader right over here. And I can kind of show you. So I'm kind of messing around with this, trying to figure out a way to kind of test this, right? So right over here, what we did was something similar, but I don't think that we got as good of a results. But when we come over here, you can come in here to ChatGPT. I uploaded the current Google writing guidelines right over here. So we uploaded it as a knowledge base. And then you can see under the prompt, what I did was I just said, hey, refer to the knowledge file. And then I tell it, hey, to grade these, any topic that I put in here, right? So then we could paste our content in right over here and then have it grade it, right? So we did get some initial grades. We can come over here and kind of look and see on a couple of these what grade we got. So we used the AI content grader and we got, like a 9 right there, a 9 and a 9. Forgot which article this one is. But I think that going into this one, it took it to a whole nother level because we were able to get article 1. We got high, and then we got human sounding, medium, and overall score, a high right there. Then article 2, which was the ChatGPT, was helpfulness, human sounding. So we got medium, high, and medium overall score. And then article 3, we got low, human sounding, low, and overall score low. And this was the Koala Writer article, believe it or not. It also will tell you the citations of where it gathered its information. If we click on that, it's going to tell you exactly where it got that information from. Super cool stuff. You can also prompt it some different questions down here and everything. Now, and I'm showing you this just as a tool. You can go sign up. There's no affiliate program. It doesn't even cost money to use it. Just showing you this is really, really cool. But it did not give us scores. So then I told it to, right over here, I said, give scores from 1 to 10 for each article. So we have article 1. It gave helpfulness 9, a human sounding 8. And so then we come back over to the spreadsheet, 9, and an 8, okay? So then we come back, and then article 2, which was the ChatGPT article, we had a 7 and then a 9, right? So then I put a 7 for helpfulness and a 9 human sounding. And then article 3, we got a 4 and a 5. This was the Koala Writer, so 4, 5, right? And I kind of tried to color code them the best I could with different colors. Right over here. So that's kind of where we got these scores from, right? Really, really cool stuff. And then it didn't give us an overall score. We can go over here and look at what the overall score that it gave, but I didn't think that this part was actually accurate because this overall score right here is a 7 out of 10, but I don't think that a 7 out of 10 right here there's no way that the overall score could be a 7 on Article 3 when the other two scores were a 4 and a 5, right? So the average needs to be like, about a 4.5 or something like that. So, but it did try to give me an overall score right there. And then we can go, ask different questions like how can content creators align their content with the principles of EEAT? And then it gives us some information right over here based on, so you can imagine you could use this for so many different things, but the bigger you build up your knowledge base over here and then direct it where to use. It actually is smart enough to where it's going to gather information from all of the sources right over here. I believe you can have up to 20 sources over here, and each source can have up to 200,000 words from the research that I did. So you could build yourself a massive kind of database of information on a very specific use case. In this case, I'm going to build this up for just testing for you guys, okay? So that's where we arrive at this right over here. And that's where these scores come in. When we show you the overall scores, I don't think you'll be that surprised now, but these two tied. So they're tied for first place. Article 1 and Article 2, Claude, Opus, and ChatGPT 4, they actually tied depending on what you're looking for. They both failed at the AI test. And remember, these were right out of the gates just saying, hey, write a blog article on how to get dogs to pee outside. And that was the article that it came up with. Now, there are tricks of the trade and different things you can do with prompting to make things more sound more human-like and to get these scores down. And I know that, and I'll be doing testing and perform those tests, and then we'll have some fun and we'll continue measuring. Maybe I'll put some notes over here as well so I kind of know what I did with that test. But with that said, just right out of the gates, you know which ones have the best Hemingway reading score was actually ChatGPT 4. Human sounding also was ChatGPT 4, but then helpfulness was Claude Opus did better with just overall helpfulness and the article. And that is kind of what we're kind of going for with the Google Helpful Content Update, right? It's kind of like between that and probably less AI sounding. So you can kind of see right over here by just putting those in. So we use these gray scores right over here and use the key and everything. And then this is how I kind of came up with these scores, right? You can see the formula over here. It's basically this plus this plus this plus this last one right over here gives you 20 points. Then we got 20 points for ChatGPT 4. And then we come over here and Koala right over here to perform pretty poorly at just a 15 right there. It did perform the best right out of the gates with the AI content score right over here. But let's be honest, I had a lot of content with Koala ranking and agility and a lot of the tools that I've used throughout the last few years, and they are all just wiped from planet Earth. None of my AI sites are ranking anymore. And so I have a unique way that I'm writing content right now for one of my websites, which is super, super cool. And I also go over this in my Six Figure Freedom Club. We come back up over here and go to the classroom real quick. And then I just added this the other day, Video First AI Blogging Mini Course. And you will be able to see I have 3 videos right over here already going over my exact prompt and the process that I'm using in order to use my YouTube videos and then use Claude or ChatGPT and using a complex prompt and then get some really good factual based information and content out. Google's liking it because I'm getting articles ranking in less than 24 hours. And the site's growing and so forth. So this is really, really cool. If you want access to this, just click the first link below, go check it out. You do have to be a member of Six Figure Freedom Club. So overall, what is the final kind of verdict or reason for the test? Well, I think that it kind of is obvious that we're kind of moving into an AI content era now where it kind of is the tool that you're using is going to be very important. And I mean that by now, using Koala, for example, using Agility Writer, using Zim Writer, these tools just pumping out content or throwing in a keyword and then pumping out content is not going to get us where we want to in the future, in my opinion. We've got to be able to control the prompts, control the brand name, the branding. The EEAT score is huge as well. and the factual based information that is based on content that you kind of came up with. And it can't just be 100% regurgitated information from the internet, which all these AI writers like this kind of tend to do. And technically speaking, these ones do too. And so if you're not adding something of value or your own sauce to your articles, I think that they're overall going to get penalized. So I think that at the end of the day, this was surprising to me, just to show that Koala actually, it costs more money. Claude and ChatGPT only cost $20 a month and they're unlimited. Koala costs more per article, and it basically performed quite a bit lower than Claude and ChatGPT. What are your guys' thoughts on this? What are you guys doing for content? Or have you kind of started using more of these Claude and ChatGPT and diving into the GPT kind of world, or really custom prompts and things like that? Is that kind of how you're doing your writing these days? Or are you finding success with these other tools, these third-party tools that in my initial tests are actually not performing the best way, right? And then with the scores right over here, they're really not, performing the best. Okay. So I just want to get this content out to you. I'm going to do some more tests. I'm going to also do some tests with Claude and ChatGPT and tweak some different things. See if we can get these scores down, the AI detection scores down. It's just going to raise this score up a lot. And you want to stick with me, subscribe. I'm going to do more tests like this and so forth, and share more of my, if I can get more content, AI content ranking, and I'll just share that back with you guys. So thanks for joining me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.